Now let's learn about functions in JavaScript, which is actually a subtype of objects. So a lot of people actually get confused and overwhelmed on what functions really are. But once you understand it via the cheat sheet I've created for you, everything is going to start to make sense. Now, do not be overwhelmed again with a lot of this information over here. Once we take it piece by piece, everything is going to fall into place. So to get started on it, to explain it to you, I have created an index.html file and an app.js file over here inside my app folder. I've opened this index.html over here, and we're going to write our code in app.js so we see what's happening in our functions in the console. So the console is open over here as well. To get started in my index.html file, I'm going to simply put in the boilerplate by putting the exclamation point and hitting tab. So that's a helpful feature that VS Code provides to actually avoid, you don't have to rewrite all the boilerplate code, and it can be written for us. And we can simply over here import the script element and import the app.js over here. Over here, simply, we're gonna just test if this is working, if our integration has successfully worked. So I'm gonna just say something and just refresh. And yes, this got printed. So that tells me that yes, everything is functioning fine. So I usually do that just to test if my integrations are correct. Now let's write a function. So now I'm gonna simply write in the word function and provide a space and then put the name of the function. I'm gonna simply call it FAN or fan or fun for now, right? So function, name of the function, and then I'm going to provide these brackets. And then I'm going to provide these curly braces, like such. So that is the syntax to write a function. And then over here, there could be some more code. But for now, we're going to just stop and really understand what is a function before understanding its syntax. So we're going to go to our cheat sheet. I'm going to zoom in over here a little bit, and let's start reading the first few lines. Now, over here it says a function is simply a bunch of code bundled in a section. So when we write a function like such, we can bundle a lot of code over here. So I can write some code. So let's say I can say var a is equal to 1 plus 2, or write something else. Let's say console.log a, right? So basically I'm writing this addition and then I'm printing that. So I can write a lot of code over here. So I can just do alert and I can write whatever functionality I want in this function. So just gonna say hi over here. So going back to our documentation, a function is simply a bunch of code bundled in a section. So a function is basically a wrapper to write a lot of code. That's the first basic idea. The second part is, let's read forward, this bunch of code only runs when the function is called. All right? So when I write all of this and I now do refresh, nothing happens. Although I wrote console.log a, it should actually print the value 3. It did not. And it should also show the hi alert box, and it did not. Because a function does not run until it is called. All right, so we're going to learn about calling it as well. But now let's pause it for a minute and let's just read a little bit further. Now it says, functions allow for organizing code into sections, which we already looked at, and code reusability. So once you actually define a function and all the code that you want, all the tasks you want it to do, you can actually reuse that particular function in multiple places. We're going to look at code reusability in a minute, but let's move forward and read one more thing, the last line over here. Using a function has only two parts. Number one, you declare/define a function, just the way we did over here. We defined or declared the function. We said, okay, here's the function. Here it is. Here's what it does. And the second part is using or running the function. So we already looked at declaring the function. And now if we say, hey, we want to run this function, the second part of it, we can simply do fun, the name of the function, provide that, and then provide the brackets sign like such. And once you do that, then only this particular function is going to be run. So now if I save and refresh, you see the 3 sign over here, 3 number over here in the console, and you see the alert box. Now if I hit OK, and now let's say if I want to run it multiple times, I can just run it multiple times by running it 3 or 4 times. I'll just do it 3 times or 2 times for now, right? So save. Now if I refresh, it showed 3 over here and high. If I hit OK, it showed 3 over here again and high over there again. And if I hit OK, it stops, right? Because it only does it twice. So that is the basics of functions, but we're going to look at those little bit more terminologies around it. But those are the basics. Talk to you in the next video.